Hey there.
Might have to do number 2.
Hey there. Hey there, welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits, coming to you from the Recycle Garage in sunny
Frigidly cold
Santa Cruz, California. Everyone's breaking out the heated gear because it got down to 55.
Oh my God. Thank God I had heated grips because I couldn't make it. I bought a second pair of gloves today with knowing that it might dip below 60 on my ride home.
I brought glove liners.
Good for
because
you.
I'm just freezing.
Good for you.
You're driving your car.
All the gear all the
time. Oh my gosh. Hey everyone, this is Liza, and I had a good day today. I actually helped some people. Well, we'll get to that.
You had a chicken stander here too.
Yeah, we had a chicken stander here. Running the board, it's Stumpy John.
What's up, everybody? Happy Turkey Week. In fact, I'll just say it on the front end. Anybody don't have a place to go who's in Northern California and wants to go somewhere, you are welcome at my house on Thanksgiving.
You call it Turkey Week. I call it all-you-can-eat shrimp buffet week.
Every week is all-week shrimp buffet week for you.
I did. I ate a lot of shrimp last night.
Fried?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
It was good. Chinese. Oh, it was good. Joining us across the room, and it's been a while, it's Morgan.
I'm an expert.
Yeah, you were brought in as the expert.
I was called and brought in.
He's a master debater, right?
That's right. Among other things. What I do in my own time.
Because you could stop me up.
Oh, God.
Never stop.
And now we can go through the list of all the people who aren't here.
Yeah.
I was at the bottom of her list. She literally called everyone else.
Remember
Finally, I can hear the anxiety in her voice. Can you please? I have nothing. Can you please come in?
Did you play kickball when you were young? You used to do when there's two of you, you do Ghost Man on first, Ghost Man on second. So
we called it soccer.
Okay. Oh. When I was a kid, we played Smear the Queer, just going to say.
Yeah, we did
That's
too.
not appropriate,
We
Liza.
did too.
I'm sorry. And you could send your all your complaints to Phil at
and look how you turned out.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I got smeared a lot.
Oh no, not again.
Please don't smear me.
I hope no one smears me again today.
I'll just lay here and wait to get smeared.
Oh my word. Bagel will be joining us shortly. He's running behind, and Emma is fixing a car. Yeah, that blew a spark plug, so she's got to fix that. So, and Jim is, I think, headed to a desert. That's usually, when he's not here, there's usually a desert and nudity and flames.
He rented a house down there, I think.
He's a horse with no name.
He's doing cool stuff. But, you did mention that it is Turkey Week, Thanksgiving is coming up, which also means Black Friday and the time you start thinking about buying gifts for people.
I wish I had a really good idea.
I found a thing.
Rampant consumerism is what the holidays are all about.
I know it is.
Spend.
Okay, hear me out. This may seem like an unusual choice.
My wallet's ready.
But I think it's really cool.
Is it an egg-shaped phone?
No. But
because I am there.
It is, and they're doing these Facebook ads, and I'm all in. No, it's a company that does frozen soup dumplings. It's a Chinese.
I've seen those.
Company, frozen soup dumplings. Have you ever had soup dumplings?
Oh, this is the greatest thing in the world.
Yes. Have you had them?
I've had dumplings. I've gone.
No. You haven't had. If you don't know soup dumpling, you have
the ones that have soup inside them. You bite into them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this company. Because you already the way they make soup dumplings, you got to freeze it and then make the dumplings. They freeze it, send it out, and you can buy a kit with all the sauces, and you get the steamer basket. Dumplings. And I'm like, what a great gift! A lot of people have never had soup dumplings, so there you go. I'm buying.
The problem with those I looked at those, and I probably would have to eat $80 worth to get full.
No.
Oh yeah,
there's 50 in a bag.
But that's like 40. That's like $50 right there.
No, but look, I'm just saying. I think it's a fun gift. I'm going to buy somebody the kit.
Tell you what I've been.
That has all the basket and everything.
Put my name on your list.
The obscure food that I like to consider giving out for gift is, I didn't realize, for years they have all these. When you buy a honey, they're like, oh, you have orange blossom honey. Mm-hmm. You can get exotic things, and if you look hard, you look in the right places. I found my local farmers market carries it. Poison oak honey. It
That
is
doesn't
literally
sound good.
For your enemies?
No, you put it on your egg-shaped phone.
But but it's odd because it's almost black and it's spicy.
Really?
It's really, and I love the idea of two things. If a hipster wanted to spend enough money, they could make a poison oak honey mead.
Ooh.
And I mean, that just sells itself with the label with like thorns and stuff on it.
Man, that's your new business venture, right there.
Right? But the other thing is it's fun to cook with, like, let's say you're going to do like a marinated rack of lamb with like pistachios and poison oak honey glaze. What now? What? Yeah.
Well, as good of a gift that poison oak honey and soup dumplings is, if there are children in your life, I want to remind you that there's another great gift item to get. And it's time to start thinking about gifts for your kids. Our friends Nancy and Mark, who are creators of EMoto, they want you to join their mission to get more children excited about motorcycles.
And reading.
Exactly.
Reading on motorcycles.
EMoto.com, where you can go to purchase the couple's books, their motorcycle books, The Adventures of Mimi and Moto, and Mimi and Moto Ride the Alphabet, along with t-shirts, onesies, ornaments, and plushies. So this is really cool. They got all these accessories. If you're getting the book for somebody, a kid, you might as well get like the plushie too, so they actually have the toy to sleep with, right?
Could they get like a famous narrator to do the audiobook, maybe? Like Stephen Fry.
Who's Stephen Fry? I don't know.
He's a British comedian. And also, he narrated the Harry Potter.
So I'm thinking more Ewan McGregor.
Ooh, that I was thinking. I was thinking Shatner.
You know what? Just get a Scottish man with a real thick accent, and then they went over the over the hill, and they found
and ate haggis.
Yeah, it was next up the letter F.
Sorry, Jim.
Well, and guess what? They're working on a new chapter book called Mimi and Moto's Magical Meteors First Gear, which will be released early in 23. So remember to go to mimiandmoto.com today and get some Christmas shopping done that will help create future motorcycle riders. And who knows, maybe soup dumplings too. But I think children will burn themselves. But no, we love
all kids love
Mimi
honey.
and Moto. Yes, they do. We love Mimi and Moto. They do great things. Yeah. And I've been seeing them around for years when I'm at shows and events. Last time we were at Gilroy Motorcycle Center, they had the book on display.
Were they the one show?
No, they weren't at the one show, but I've seen them at EMoto before and other events. But it's just such a great thing, and everybody's got kids in their life. So I think just think who you can give it to and go to mimiandmoto.com and get it there. All right. So, I helped some kids today. Oh, you missed them, John.
Yeah.
I was in the shop cleaning up, doing the cleaning. In the winter, people start moving into the garage more. So I fixed some shelves and stuff, just cleaning up. And just hanging out with Charlie, and I heard a motorcycle pull up. In fact, it was two. One of them was a 50cc scooter, so you could barely hear it. And these two...
Did you tell them that loud pipe saves lives?
These two young bucks, some Santa Cruz, UC Santa Cruz students came in named Jasper and Kai. And Jasper was on
Such Santa Cruz names.
Yeah, it was on I think it's a Shadow 500. Great first bike. And Kai was on is it a Vino 50?
Don't look at
scooter?
me, I don't know. I
think
paying attention to gas vehicles.
Anyway, little 50cc scooter. And so we split them up. I'm like, all right, Charlie, you take the Shadow, I'll take the scooter. And so Kai was like, they both just got these new bikes. And interestingly enough, they looked up motorcycle shops in Santa Cruz, and we came up.
That's not the first time, is it?
And I'm like, I said, what a disappointment to just come into this garage with a dead possum.
This is the best possible experience.
Exactly. I mean, I said, you kids do not realize the mother load you've walked into. And so they were just looking for advice. So the scooter had the E-Star didn't work, the turn signals didn't work, and it had a weird idle problem. I'm like, no problem. Let's open it up, see what's in there. Let's look at the battery, check the battery. Because you don't need a battery to start and run these things.
Well, you don't have to have a battery for
assuming there's a Kickstarter, yes.
Oh.
Or you could just bump start it with a 50cc.
So I open it up, I get out a multimeter and check it. It's like 12.97 volts.
That's good.
But I noticed there's 3 fuses. A main and then 2 auxiliary fuses. Yeah, auxiliary fuses. So I showed him how to test the fuses. One of them was bad. And it also had extra fuses in there. It had spare fuses in there.
That's great.
But he just never knew to check a fuse.
Yeah.
Something as simple that we change it out. Guess what? The electric start and the turn signals now work.
That's one thing I learned from Emma. She's always like, start with the simplest thing and go from there.
Battery.
But
fuses.
this is my point. This is somebody who just has never, ever worked on something. And then it was as easy. Oh, and then it turns out that the hinge wasn't attached. And like, so I'm like, oh.
Was there like a seat sensor that turned it off when you.
Apparently there was a idle problem. Somebody had taken the bucket out that's underneath the seat and had taken the bolts out of the seat and lost the nuts and that kind of thing.
That affected the idle?
No, but we just addressed everything.
Oh, okay.
So we take the bucket out that sits under the seat where you can put your cases of beer.
Yeah.
And I showed him the little screw to adjust the idle, quarter turn, took care of that. And then I had him go through the lost and found bucket and find more screws to reattach the hinge and fixed everything.
That's great.
And then he's like, well, there's a little play in the throttle. And I showed him how to adjust the throttle on the cable, right? He didn't know that weather seal was covering the adjuster nut. How would he know, right?
They'll probably see these kids again. They'll probably come back.
And so we just went through one thing after the other and just knocked it all out. And then Charlie helped Jasper adjust the chain. And then we taught him how to read the date code on tires.
Oh, that's great. How old were the tires?
05 on the Cruiser, I think.
Here's the question though, because this is under some debate. I think
they were original tires.
I think it was either what channel are Zach and Ari doing things on? Ari Henning and
Common Thread.
Common Thread, yeah.
They had a thing recently about old tires versus new tires, and because there was some debate. They're under the impression that old tires aren't a big deal. You can go watch the video and it'll explain it more, because they took some ancient 2000 era tires that were and brought them to the track. And
yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's not like overnight they expire and they're no good.
Well, you obviously visually inspect them for cracks and things like that.
But they
how are they
lose
stored?
the elasticity in the rubber.
And also if they were parked on flat for the same spot for years.
And coming into winter, when it's just cooler temperatures and wetter conditions.
Yeah, when we get that one.
It can make the difference.
That 1 week of rain per year that we get around here, and the temperature could be as low as 51 degrees.
I'm just saying, if your tires are at 75% efficiency, when those conditions, that may be the thing that changes. It makes a difference, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
So yeah, and then the other thing that blew their mind, they both had rusty chrome on their bikes. I invited them to find steel wool and WD-40, and their minds were blown.
That's great.
How much of the rust just came away. So they were really happy. It was really fun. Those were both cases where perfect example of who benefits from this garage. It was something really simple, but not obvious to them, and just showing them the little tips and tricks and having access to screws and cage nuts and stuff like that.
And you've also shared the joy of learning.
Yeah.
And that's what you really want.
Yes.
No, seriously, that's what I consider that one of the magical things about this place is sharing knowledge and getting people excited about increasing their own capability to do things, becoming more self-reliant, becoming empowered.
Yeah. And it was obvious to me that whoever owned these bikes, or especially this scooter before, never touched anything. You ride it until
don't work.
Enough things don't work. It's not worth it. Because he bought it with not working starter and turn signals. So it's I just said, now you have to be aware that whoever owned it didn't fix or do anything. So what else is on the list? What else needs to be checked? And that's why I said, let's check the tires, things that age out.
That segs into something I'm thinking about now. I don't know if this is okay to mention this, but I was mentioning
I'm sorry,
John, that I've got this Bramo Impulse I've been storing at our place for some years now.
Oh, yeah. Gosh.
And the owner of it is a nice guy, but he's Scottish, and he just buys bikes and forgets about them wherever they are. And I'm tired of storing this bike, and he's going to send me the title. I could just give this thing away to someone who wants this Bramo Impulse. It's technically it runs. It's an electric 2014 Bramo Impulse RR, I think. The batteries are way out of balance, but I've disconnected the main pack, so they're not drawing anything right now. You need to check some of the fuses because it occasionally would just intermittently shut off mid-ride. And you need to figure out some sort of AC charging situation because the charger on it is missing some parts. Other than that, it's a fully functional Brembo Impulse. So
are you saying somebody wanted to...
If someone in the area wants to come pick up a Brembo Impulse, I've got one, and I'm tired of storing it, and Eric will find the title and send it to whoever.
But are the batteries any good?
Yeah, they're fine.
Oh.
I've got them sitting in half capacity right now, and I've disconnected them so they're not drawing. They're just chilling at around 101 volts.
Oh, is this the one that's had things hacked off of it?
Actually, yes and no. The charging system was swapped out, but I've got the original charger, 90% of it there, just missing some of the stuff for the inlet, and I don't have that. I need to have something that sends the pilot signal so the bike engages the battery management system. Anyway, the bike, yeah, if you Google Brembo Impulse RR 2013, you'll see what it looks like, and it's...
I'm so tempted, but I still, for the same reason, I wouldn't buy a new one either. I don't have opportunities to ride frequently enough to make it anything more than just a thing sits in the corner.
Right.
And the last thing you want is a electric bike that sits in the corner.
I agree. But I'm just saying, if someone wants it, email Liza and have her let me know.
Yeah, well, that is a generous offer. I think Bagel's going to be coming in, so I have like a thing I want to share with him when he comes in. So I'm pausing, I'm stalling. Oh, I know what I need to talk about: the 500th.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Shoot, dude, we're 2 weeks away.
How many people we got signed up now?
It is almost sold out.
We don't know because there may be duplicates because Liza keeps canceling and remaking the event.
Okay.
And I've gotten several tickets now because I don't know if the old one got voided. I don't know.
No, okay.
I don't know. I've gotten at least 2 tickets now.
I will clarify it right. Yes, I know. I thought you were bringing more people.
It's just that the event was canceled. Here's the new one, so I signed up again.
Well, I'm hoping to scalp some tickets. So I got about 10.
Contacted Ticketmaster. We're doing it.
Okay. So here's the deal. The event is happening, but I'm having an issue where when we first were planning it at Moto Talbot, I created an event and then we had to change venue. So I canceled that and created a new event. But for some reason, people are, I think if you haven't cleared your cache or something, it's bringing up the old event, even though the link is for the new event, and it's very confusing. So a lot of people are confused. So I want to be clear. Here's the timeline of things happening on December 3rd and 4th in 2 weeks. On December 3rd, we are starting with a ride led by Naked Jim and Matt.
What did it, John, when you said Naked Jim?
No, Matt from Breaking Away Adventures.
I'm definitely not Naked Jim.
And we're meeting here at the garage at 11 a.m. And they're going to do a ride up through the hills and just a really good nice up the coast and up through the mountains. And then it's going to be coming back and ending at 4. And then for people who want to go and change or do whatever. But then Emma is going to be doing a pregame from 4 to 5 over at Abbott Square downtown, which is just across the street from our venue. And then 5 doors are open. And from 5 to 6, we're having a mixer. There's going to be food and drinks, and come on over to the theater and
lewd jokes.
Yeah, while we are, setting up, getting prepared. From 6 to 8, we're recording. 8 to 9, we're just going to still kind of going back to just kind of mixing. We got to be out. And then Jim and Emma are going to take everyone like Pied Pipers across the parking lot to the pizza place to go hang out more. So we're like got a full day of like hanging out for like people coming from out of town.
Show up with possibly 50 plus people at the pizza place at 10 p.m. They're going to love that.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe like 150 though.
Entire staff walks out.
No, a lot of people are going to go home or will be tired, but people want to keep hanging out.
We won't invite the unsavory types.
And then on Sunday, the garage opens at 11. We are going to have an open house here at the garage, pull out the barbecue, have some hot dogs, hanging out, maybe do some stupid stuff, have the mini bike out.
Trying really hard to get everybody arrested.
Oh, boy.
I was suggesting, Bagel, are you here with us? You look like you're muted.
Yes, I am here.
Bagel, you can tell
in limited fashion. I'm having technical difficulties tonight.
Bagel, tell me what you think. How horrible of an idea would it be to do chariot racing in the police parking lot
without permission.
I don't think that would be the best idea.
But there's no one in there.
So that's literally what everybody said. And Liza says, well, we're doing it.
If somebody wants to be so bold, I'm not going to stop them.
But I'm thinking that if we do like a 4-lap race and bug out, that's before anyone can show up.
And they have no way of knowing where we came from.
Except maybe over the wall. Over the wall.
Right next door, over the wall.
With the smell of barbecue and loud music and raucous people on motorcycles. Dang, where'd those guys go?
Was that the sound of your computer restarting?
It sounded like a Mac booting up.
It's trying, yeah.
Oh,
it's
geez.
old and ailing.
That's the starting chime. I know that sound.
Yep.
Well, Bagel, I am about to share something with the guys here. I'll send you the link on your phone just so you can see what it is. But this is in the category of how did we not know about this? Keeping it going.
Okay.
Remember the dong, the Benelli dong?
Yes.
There was another. How did we not know about this? So this is something that is blowing my mind. So,
wow.
That's
John,
incredible.
I'm going to show you a picture. Can you describe what you're seeing in this picture?
Looks like me riding the XT225.
Come on. What are we looking at here?
We're looking at an astronaut sitting on a very small, looks like a CT 90 something. Yeah. It's yellow. And it looks like they're trying to cruise around the moon rocks there. This
is legit. Did you get the link, Bagel?
I did. I'm checking it out.
Yeah. So if you scroll down towards the bottom, you will see
our chime. Sorry.
You will see a legit astronaut in a NASA astronaut suit on a Honda CT90. And
there's your Halloween costume, Liza.
I know, right?
Totally, yeah.
But the other pictures that are even more amazing is there's also astronauts riding little electric motorcycles around.
Designed in year.
Oh, so I'm getting to that. By NASA. So here's the story. And this is like, when I found this, an astronaut on a CT90, this picture came up when I was searching for something else. And I was like, what? Like, what's going on? So here's the story. Back in 1969, when they were working on, is it Apollo 15, I think? I think it was Apollo 15. They didn't know if the lunar rover would be finished in time. So they said, we need to come up with a plan B. And they considered motorcycle. So the first thing they did is they went down to their local Honda shop and bought a CT90 to put an astronaut and all of his gear and equipment on to see if he could.
Next, they sent Neil Armstrong to motorcycle safety courses.
To see if they can operate the controls in their suits with their gloves and everything. And it then carried on the next. Then I think they figured out that carbureted gas engines won't work in space.
Yeah.
Yes, if that is coming up,
well, yeah.
yes. NASA was aware of that. This was more about the design, what do you call the ergonomics, right? So
they brought in Sonny Barger.
So that's when they designed these electric
the moon chopper.
These electric motorcycles that look like electric mini bikes, not that different than the one I have out there.
I mean, the tires are really small.
Yeah, that we ride around on. Did you know about this, Bagel?
No, I did not.
It's crazy, right?
I want to note that this bike has a step-through design and small tires.
Are you claiming it as a scooter?
Oh, God.
I'm claiming it as a moon scooter.
Well, again, this is how
awesome.
did we not know about this?
Right?
So this
I did not know about
scooter.
This.
So they developed this moon scooter, and what's really cool is in this photo, there's two pictures. One, they actually have this moon scooter in the Vomit Comet. You know, the plane they go in so you can do parabolic? What is it?
G.
There's a parabolic curves so that you're weightless.
Yeah, I know it is.
And so they were testing it in there.
Well, they could also simulate lunar gravity too, with to have so that they could see what it's like to ride it in that gravity
full
environment.
throttle with all 5/8 of a horsepower.
So I believe the moon is 1/6 the gravity of Earth.
Yep.
And so the other picture, they have this harness strap system, much like they use in the movie making now for like Marvel to make people fly and stuff. So they have it all strapped up so they can take 5/6 of the weight away and let them ride around this facility and different terrains and try them out. Now, what ended up happening was the lunar rover was completed, and
makes you sick to think
all these just went away. But there's something else in this that I found fascinating. So, as we know, even though it's run by battery, you still need to have a cooling system in there.
Yep.
And you can't do cooling system in I guess in no gravity or
well, I don't know why water wouldn't work.
Then there's no atmosphere.
Not water,
would
but
it
like
freeze?
Liquid.
Oh, because they have like a 500-degree temperature difference.
Right, but I'm sure there's some whatever, alcohol or something.
Yeah.
So let me blow your mind a little more too.
Vodka.
Wait, are you stealing my story? Oh, wait.
So there's a German motorcycle company right now called Hooky.
Oh, the new one you mean?
Yeah, that's developed.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not going to talk about it.
No, well, I mean, this is this historical one. Somebody designed.
I think this thing is
somebody
super cool.
rendered a digital image of what a moon motorcycle would look like today, and then another company made it from the digital rendering. But it's not actually a NASA thing,
right? But they're talking
it's
about
just a rendered. Yeah, it's just a custom bike. But coming back to mine, I thought that this was interesting. So they needed to come up with a cooling system, something that wouldn't freeze like water or boil like water, I guess, right? They used beeswax, and they filled the frame with beeswax.
Really.
Yeah. So here's what happened. If it started overheating, the frame would absorb some of that.
The bees would protect the queen and swarm the bike.
The frame would absorb some of the energy because all metal, right? Sorry. Space bees. I'll let you get over that one. And the wax would absorb the heat and melt. And then they would just have to turn it off and let the wax harden back up. And then they continue riding.
And then afterwards, they could harvest the honey.
But no, you think about it, the space bees. Oh my God, the wax. No, it was an interesting solution. It won't freeze. It won't boil, and it's something that they used a.
Well, it also wouldn't change volume because water when it freezes changes volume. Yeah.
So there you go. They used a wax cooling system.
But I was explaining to Liza that wax valves are actually a common thing in things like greenhouses. Yeah. Anyway.
If you want to see this yourself, here's the thing. You can't type in moon motorcycle because there's a bunch of companies called like Moon Motorcycle.
There's Moon Eyes, right?
Moon Eyes. Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff. But if you do NASA motorcycle, moon motorcycle, that
Bagel
comes up.
is going to insist on a scooter.
Well, it does have CT70 style handlebars.
Yeah,
but it does look like a distinctly step through design to me.
And this is interesting. It boasted a 5/8 horsepower motor.
Ooh.
Well,
is that the size of my erector set motor?
Here's the problem is, like, what did you say the top speed was like 3 miles an hour?
Yeah.
I mean, why even ride it when you could walk?
Less physical exertion, I guess.
Yeah.
So I have an answer.
You're on the moon. You're going to want to jump around.
I have an answer to that. So
limited oxygen.
Another reason that that this failed is because it needed to pull a cart with equipment in it.
Well,
so there's why they didn't walk, and it was having Bagel. What is going on with your computer?
Up over and over.
Sorry,
endless startup chimes.
It's trying to live.
Yeah, look at this test track on these harnesses.
Do you mean to call my brother up to help you walk through your troubleshooting process, Bagel? Because
well, if he can send me a logic board, that'd be great.
Oh, geez. So a lot of really cool stuff, but basically, NASA developed an electric. We'll give it to Bagel, an electric scooter
filled with bees
that no one seems to know where it went. It was something. I mean, think about how many things that they developed and test and then toss, right?
Man.
Yeah.
So when was the first? Was this like the early iteration of a electric? When's the first electric motorcycle?
Well, you can go way back.
I assume there was one
first viable one.
1900s probably had some.
When was the first electric motor?
Like, when's the first viable, like, this is a thing, electric motorcycle?
Like Corbin's in 1975?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But that didn't have a controller.
Because what part of what I'm wondering is if any of this technology went down into the industry and helped sort of push that forward.
I don't know, but
if you want to examine by getting a free Bramo Impulse, you could draw your own conclusions.
Nothing's ever free.
It'll be out of my hair.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go. That's how did we not know about this story?
Yeah.
And I read, I think a few years ago, somebody from Revzilla did a little more research, and they were trying to find like anybody who knew anything about it, and it really did just disappear. But I think they found some people who like worked on it,
Stanley
acknowledged
Kubrick's
it.
basement,
But there's a bunch
along with the original Rover set
of photos.
Sorry.
Well, you would think though that it's a small thing that wouldn't be that hard to keep around somewhere. That it might be just hanging out in some closet somewhere in some facility. Who knows?
Well, let me ask you guys this: if you were Morgan, let's say NASA came to you, hey, we need to build a moon scooter. Like, I mean, what they did is they started with something existing and then started, changing engineering. What are the things that you think need to be engineered to this?
Well, I would say first off, cash up front.
So, the cooling in the frame was pretty cool.
Well, the weight is going to be an issue.
Well, not really, because it's a lot lighter there. So the heavy bike.
No, I mean, you got to get it there.
Oh,
carrying a 500-pound motorcycle is probably not.
You wouldn't need the full size. You could get like a Zero FX type thing, or something with like a Saunders Metacycle type, smaller, 200, 150-pound thing.
So, is there? Let's take any electric motorcycle or scooter available now. Is there anything you can think it wouldn't work?
If you can manage the cooling on it, I don't know enough about the battery chemistry that they used back then, how that reacted thermally, because with old lead acid or whatever type batteries, did they get hotter when they charge or discharge compared to lithium ion battery today, which means the lithium ones are a lot more efficient. I mean, I assume they are, but these are unknowns that someone who's better versed in history of batteries would be able to answer.
One thing, it was so funny reading all the comments too. Somebody said, well, we know for sure that they couldn't send two because then nothing would get done. It would just be races all the time, especially with the kind of guys that the astronauts were.
Hey, Armstrong, check this out. Hold my beer.
Chariot races on the moon.
You think I can launch out of that crater?
Well, also they were saying like to build like a motocross track, right? You only need to have like a 2-inch bump and it'll send you 10 meters in the air. You know?
Lunar short track. Yep.
Exactly. So there is that problem. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, that is cool.
What else are we going to discover that we didn't know? I don't know. I happened to find this when I was searching for something. You know what? I'm gonna put a request out to our listeners.
Bring me the scooter. Bring me the moon scooter. Bring it at once.
No. I'm gonna say, is there anything? I want people to send us an email if they think there's something that we just didn't know about at all. I mean, we've done 500 shows, and how is it like we didn't?
You haven't yet.
Well, technically, there's some that aren't numbered. So, I'm just curious, like, what else are we missing? What else will blow our minds? And I want to ask the listeners to send us some of these stories or links to stuff that are just like, how did we not know that?
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. And another thing, I've been looking through, there's so many bikes that were announced at EICMA. And I always go through the news and look at like what's new, this, that, and the other. But I found another thing. Bagel, I am going to send you another link to something because this is another thing I didn't realize was still around, and maybe you do. So, Peugeot motorcycles. Did you know, Bagel, that they're still around?
Yeah, I know they're still around.
Did you know that Peugeot motorcycles have been around for like 135 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. Because we don't really have them here. But Bagel.
Sorry, trying to hit mute.
The soundtrack to your life. 210 years they've been around.
210 years?
210 years.
Obviously starting with bicycles,
Wow.
I'm sure.
No. They had motorcycles 210 years, and they just kept it under wraps. And they sent them, oddly enough, this is going to blow your mind. They sent them
inheriting
to the moon.
210 years of Peugeot's history. But what I found was they have scooters. Did you know that, Bagel?
Oh yeah.
Peugeot scooters. In fact, if I believe this is right, see, this is sending me the wrong thing. I think they have a new adventure scooter.
What? Do they?
What? Really?
What is an adventure scooter?
Yeah. I'm trying to find the article now. Peugeot XP400 ADV scooter.
400.
Oh my God.
There it is. Peugeot XP400 ADV scooter. I sent you the wrong link, Bagel. You're going to have to Google that
the
up.
fiercest of parking lots.
I sent you a link to the Peugeot, but I couldn't find the scooter on there. But this is... Now, remember when the Honda Adventure scooter came out? There's one there. See the red one on the wall? Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, that is badass.
17 front, 15 rear. Interesting.
How's it a scooter then with a 17 front?
I mean...
Is it step through?
Yes,
That's
but
sort of,
just
that's
like
not,
that.
That's not
It's
step through.
it's a step over.
It's step through-ish, yeah.
Step over-ish.
Like a CT110 is a step through, you mean?
Yeah. All the big displacement scooters are
It's got
like
40 horsepower, too.
that is a good-looking... Morgan, bring up Peugeot XP400 scooter. It's a cool-looking scooter. It really is. And I didn't even know that they made scooters, and I didn't know that they made an adventure scooter. I mean, Bagel, how many ADV scooters are there?
Not a lot. I mean, there's Hondas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think there are one or two others. I don't remember who made them. Maybe Kymco has one. I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe. And here's my question. Are these scooters actually being made for adventure riding, or is this just capitalizing on the ADV trend and it's styled as an adventure scooter? What do you think? Anyone?
I don't know.
It's for the adventurous Florida retiree in their HOA trying to navigate.
It's interesting to me that they got the wheels 15, 17. That tells me that they're trying to do something, at least for a gravel road, maybe.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out. So, we're bikers with adventure bikes, and we look at that adventure scooter. Like, oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, would I ever buy it? I don't know. But, it's kind of cool, maybe. But then for Bagel, you're like a hardcore scooterist, mostly riding like vintage and Italian. Is this something that you look and go, oh, maybe I'd do an adventure scooter? Is that...
I don't know. I'd have to see it. I haven't even found the page yet here. I don't see it on their website.
I will I'll forward you a new link. And I'm trying to figure out, who is the market? Is it actually an adventure rider, which is more likely to be on a motorcycle? Is it a scooterist?
Rebellious suburban housewife.
Probably not. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think it's cool, but will motorcyclists buy an adventure scooter?
Have you outgrown your Honda Cub and you thirst for more? Do you really want to feel the power?
John, what do you think?
I think it's cool. I don't know that I wouldn't buy one, only because I've got real dirt bikes. So,
that's some gatekeeping right there. I have real dirt bikes.
No, what I'm saying is
an adventure scooter.
I would rather have a road scooter that I could zip around on than have something like that I'll probably never take off the dirt.
Yeah, I don't know where one would say, you know what this road is perfect for?
Exactly.
An adventure scooter.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know. I've ever seen a road or terrain that go, what?
Well, here's a thought. If you live out in the sticks and you have some dirt roads you need to ride through to get home,
you get a CT110,
and you like to ride a scooter, and you want to, you want an automatic that can handle dirt.
You get a CT110 that already has the racking.
Well, you could do that, but if you want a 400 that has more power and you can take on the freeway too, then there you go.
Then you go for maybe like the Cake Osa, the electric. We were talking about that, Liza.
That's
Osa,
the name.
the Osa is the utilitarian one with all the.
They're usually like trial bikes. I thought.
No, the Osa is funny because they introduced it a couple of years ago, and I remember when they launched it. They said, "Well, we started with the idea of a workbench, and then we decided we could try to build a motorcycle around that." But it's a funny thing because it's this little electric bike that has utilitarian. It has a 220 and 110 output on it, so you can take it to job sites, and it has like all these racking so you can carry lumber and tools, and it has a detachable headlights you can use as a torch.
Well, storage is a big thing. So here's a clue. It
has a basket on the front.
Here's a clue. They're saying that it's going to be going to the Philippines soon. So what kind of riding is happening in the Philippines?
It's probably a lot like we dealt with in Pakistan, which would make it more attractive for me. Because you're dealing with mixed conditions. You're dealing with crappy pavement, real pavement, some dirt.
Seems excessive because usually there's smaller displacements in places like Philippines. 400 is like, that's a big, that is the gang leader right there.
Yeah. Well, at least you can get out of your own way.
Yeah. The gang leader has the XP 400 adventure scooter, and you don't want to mess with that guy.
I don't know. I'm fascinated by it because as a biker,
I would watch that TV show.
Like, well, here's the thing. That's a cool scooter, But it's like, I would never buy one.
That's a cool scooter. I still don't want it. That's a cool scooter.
Yeah, I know. And so do the scooters think it's cool, Bagel? Can you speak for all of them?
Wait for the Mac chime.
Well, no, it's that I gave up on that, but it's I think it's worth checking out. I will say. I mean, it looks like it's a fairly big for a scooter. So, I don't know how it would feel to ride. Oh, but it does seem like it carries its weight pretty low, at least. And, and it also has one thing that's interesting. It has a very long wheelbase, it looks like. Yeah. So, that might be actually kind of fun for hill climbing.
God, please tell me that's a thing. Scooter hill climbs. Is that a thing?
It has happened. Oh, yes.
I would watch that.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think
it's like that. What's that? In England, they have the cheese race where they throw a cheese wheel down a hill and everyone tries to chase it.
Yeah. Right.
Causes bodily harm.
Although usually a hill climb with scooters is like when you go to San Francisco and you try to make it up one of the really steep hills and you have people stalling.
That's what That's what's known as a scooter hill climb, is parking in San Francisco. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Come on, guys.
Well, I'm just curious. Yeah, it's just funny. But also I didn't know that Peugeot was still around.
Yeah, they were bought by an Indian company.
So doing the same thing as name a various company that, come on, who was Royal Enfield?
Pulling from 210 years of history.
And who is Buell, the original Buell's, that someone else bought them? Are they Indian now as well, or is that?
Oh, I don't know who owns Buell now, but Buell is now Fuell.
No. Buell is, but Eric is now Fuell.
Eric is Fuell. Buell
was bought by someone else and is now just making things under the name. But where are they out of? I don't know.
I thought it was U.S. I'm not sure. But I wanted to get to why Morgan is here and what I was finding.
I was brought in for my expertise and knowledge. Liza, direct dialed me. Not a lot of you have my number, but Liza called me specifically as an expert and asked me to come in. I've got a busy schedule, so I thought, you know what, anything for the garage, anything for friend Liza. So yes, I'm here to share my expertise and knowledge that I was requested for.
Thank you. The check is in the mail. So, Bagel, I think you'll find this interesting. So, all right. When I was just going through like motorcycle news and just keeping up, seeing what's what, I started seeing kind of the same but different announcements coming up. And I'm just going to read to you some of these announcements that I found. Cake unveil trail and track focus limited edition Buck model. Buick. Cake, their electric, almost a step up from like Suron, but they're not big full motorcycles.
They're very, very angular and blocky. They
small electric motorcycles.
If people have a favorite shape, if companies have favorite shapes, theirs is rectangles. They really love rectangles.
So, you see that, John? So, Cake, they're making a dirt bike, a full-on.
I don't know how it's different than
I need to get through this list. You can't kill me on all of them. Just let me get through. Hold on. So cake. So, and then we got Eric Buell. He has a new bike called the Flow, FLLOW, double L, of course, which is were you saying that's like the Saunders? What is that like?
No. Thank you. Great question. As an expert, let me share
it's like
It's a motorcycle. No, it's
a motorcycle.
It's meant to be a small commuter, probably in competition with something like Zero's S. Or
you think it's that full size?
Oh God, yes.
Okay.
The power on it is odd. It has an extremely powerful motor, but they caps it at a very, very low top speed.
Okay. And here's one.
Very unusual.
John, remember we were up at one show and we learned about Riehus?
I did.
We interviewed them.
They were cool looking too.
It's a Spanish company that's made a comeback. They have announced an electric dirt bike.
Hopefully picking up where Alta left off.
Looks like it's a legit. Riehu makes very good dirt bikes. So now they have an electric enduro. And then we also have, I found one, electronic motorcycle company will build headquarters in Hawaiian Gardens. It's a company called Rivid, RYVID.
The Rivid Anthem.
Which is an e-motorcycle, which I don't even know how to describe that.
I do. We'll get there.
Is that something from like Wall-E or something? It's
do you want me to give my description?
Yeah, go ahead on that one.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Imagine a male dog. And the prominent feature of a male dog is where they stuck the battery. And if you combine that with Johnny 5 from Short Circuit, that is the Rivet Anthem.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool looking, though. I kind of like it.
I mean, everyone likes that.
It's happy to see me.
All right, I'm going to keep going.
But the idea was that's going to be a modular detachable battery, so you can grab that, plop it off, grab it inside, swap another one on.
Oh, really?
That's their idea. Is it wanted to be accessible, so you can grab that battery, detach it, and it was going to be. They want to succeed where they felt that the Saunders Metacycle let people down.
You calling this a dog dick motorcycle?
I am.
Okay.
Very much so. Johnny 5 dog dick.
2023 Kawasaki electric motorcycles and 2024 hybrid motorcycles. Yep. So that's Kawasaki. They're announcing big things.
Hybrid? What?
Yeah.
Yes, hybrid.
What? They've been gas electric? Or?
Yeah, they've been teasing it for a couple of years now, and people are like, "Really, you're not going to do that?" And they're like, "Yep, we're doing it."
Aprilia Electrica project. Aprilia has looks like a supermoto.
That's cool looking
coming
right there.
Out, right? I'm just skipping through because this is what I'm saying. There's so many of them. Here we have a bike called the Velocifero. You've heard of that one?
Only today when you mentioned
it. Which
it.
looks kind of Gromish, right?
Supermoto
Velocifero. Gromish. I'm not done yet. Kymco Supernex and Revonex electric motorcycles with unique and weird styling. Have you seen these?
Yeah,
I saw the Kymco when I was doing research.
Little hexagons all over them.
Yeah.
Inspired you to think about bees once again, circling back eternally about bees.
And then we can't forget about the Benelli Dong scooter. How does that Benelli Dong make you feel?
I mean, it's happy to see me.
So, I mean, the reason we're not deep diving into any single one of these is because I was seeing this over and over. Right on what?
Kymco's, Livewire's merger includes partnership with Kymco.
Oh, okay.
That was so I was right about that. It sparked. You mentioned Kymco, and I'm like, they're doing something with Livewire, aren't they? Yeah, they're partnered.
So, and we're not even talking about Livewire or Energica or Zero or Lightning or any of these companies we know have been around. And you also have like the Damon and the Saunders, and there's a whole bunch that have kind of
Saunders is actually delivering bikes.
But they were announced a year, 2, 3 ago is what I'm saying. We're not talking about those. What I'm saying is when I see this many announcements, some from companies that have been around a long time that have funding like Kymco, when you get other ones that I've never heard of that are small new startups. And I realized like when you already have established companies like Energica and Zero who are cranking out bikes to meet the demands as best as they can, but it's not like there's a huge market. And to me, this is like the electric motorcycle Thunderdome that we're about to see happen. Because there's no way all of these companies are going to survive. They can't all exist at the same time. So who's going to win? And is it possible that you may get some small companies that are going to thrive and survive. And some of these big companies, might this be the thing that kills them? Morgan's waiting patiently, and I will intro this, Morgan, because you made this comparison, which I think is great. This is like the Wild West and the land grab, when everyone headed west to grab land for themselves. And it's like all these companies are all coming together at the same time. Who's going to win? Who's going to survive? And the question, and the reason I brought you in, Morgan, is are any of these companies bringing something new to the table? Or is everyone just going to China and walking down the factory row and pulling out a menu and picking things and having them all assembled?
Well, thank you for the question, Liza. As an expert, my opinion is... Anyway, there's one of the things, the first things to consider is that how simple the basic idea of an electric vehicle is. There's basically like 3 parts.
Oh,
you have a motor, you have an inverter or controller, and you have batteries.
Yeah.
Like the combination thereof are endless, but your basic 3 parts, there's been electric motors for a long, long time. And there's inverters options out the wazoo, and then you can build your own battery packs with these little modular bricks. And so it doesn't take much for someone to go, if I have these 3 parts, I can advertise a motorcycle.
So let me ask you this. I mean, and I know you may not actually know the answer, and this is your best guess or opinion. Are any of these companies actually developing new technology, or are they all just, like I said, picking and choosing from the menu of what's available?
Thank you for the question. As an expert, the thing that people claim they want is modular replaceable batteries on the fly to eliminate the whole charge cycle, where you can just go to a wall, grab a battery brick out, like at a gas station. They're saying they want that. I have issues with the concept of that. I don't. I'm just from a mechanical standpoint of who used this, who abused this. This one's dead. Why did I get this? Where's the accountability on that? And then you have to adhere all to the same spec voltage. This is rambling stuff that no one wants to hear about right now. I have some issues with the technical side of that, also just in terms of space saving.
But it is a way to quickly grow the infrastructure.
Potentially.
Yeah. I mean, we need that to happen.
The main thing is that a lot of these bikes are smaller, meant to be around like 125cc comparison in gas world.
Okay.
And we in North America are very much a highway culture, and these are not something that North Americans gravitate towards unless you're in a dense urban city, a New York, Chicago, something where you can zip around. Like we had a guy show up today on a Suron. Did you see that? The guy that
he's here all the time, Conrad.
Yeah. Oh. And that is, oh my God, that's a fun little toy. It won't get very far, but it zips you around the streets, and it's a little hooligan machine. It's lightweight enough and it's powerful enough. This is like a perfect use for electric stuff. It accomplishes those. And a lot of these bikes you've mentioned are kind of, the Rivet Anthem specifically is trying to get into that sort of market, and like, it can do highway for a little bit, but like the Saunders Metacycle takes 12 seconds to get from 0 to 60. And that's going to put a lot of people off. So absolutely great in Europe and Asia and India. Like, because a lot of these companies are out of India. There's Persang, I think, have these little electric bikes they're making. There's an endless amount of actually Indian small bikes and scooters, and the Kawasaki little hybrids. They're all they're low power models.
There's a tagline in this Velocifero. They're calling it urban mobility.
Yeah, and these little electric scooter things excel at that. Yeah. They really do, because they don't attract attention. They're not going to stress out the infrastructure because you plug them into your wall at home.
And I want to go back. You're comparing it to a 125cc, not a 50cc?
It definitely could be compared to a 50cc. The top end ones are like a 125, and the smaller ones are closer to 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for people who don't follow an Energica or a Zero, what would you compare that to?
They're full-size bikes.
So like a liter bike. 650 to 1000 cc liter bike.
Very much so.
Okay.
But that Livewire, Energica, and Zero definitely make the full-size, full power.
Yes.
This is a motorcycle experience.
So, and what kilowatt battery would you describe as full power? Are we talking about 12 and up, 14 and up?
It's not so much battery, it's the motor capacity output.
Okay.
So I would say anything over 40 kilowatts output is definitely motorcycle.
Okay, so I'm looking at this again. This Velocifero. It says that
that's going to be like 50 horsepower.
An electric motor with 3 kilowatt output.
Yeah, that's gonna
so this is like a 50 cc scooter,
20 miles an hour. Maybe
is that a dirt bike or a street bike?
It says it says that this is a street bike. That it can max speed is set at 90 kilometers. What's that? 65.
It's not gonna. It's no. That's 50. That's 50ish or something. It's not gonna. It'll take 30 seconds.
I mean, but this is. It looks like a Grom. So let's compare it to.
Yeah.
I guess
well, I mean, you already have that with the CSC City Slicker that already exists.
Yeah. Oh right! Did you see the CSC? They make what looks like a Cub, but it's
a City Slicker. That
is cool looking.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna look at the dog dick bike. I mean, sorry,
Rivet Anthem.
Yeah, the Rivet. We'll go 75 miles on a single charge. Again, at what speed? That is the question.
30 miles an hour, maybe.
Right. Yeah. So the range, if it's not stated with the actual speed, it doesn't mean nothing. And the same thing, if they say it'll do 120 miles per hour and they don't list the range, you're not getting all the information.
They list 2, pick 1.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying when they only list 1, that's means
80 miles an hour, 80 miles of range, pick 1.
Yeah.
So who's driving the innovation then for this? Is it filtering down from the car innovations and then sort of making its way into motorcycles, or are there people like working on motorcycle batteries specifically in order to? The thing with the difference, the main difference between the motorcycles and the cars is that motorcycles' space is a premium. The cars have the luxury of having extra frame space to tuck things, so they get to use the cylinder cells, the things that look like traditional batteries. They're cylinders, right? Because they're cheaper to make, and they don't necessarily need to be as power dense, but they have thousands of them. But the tech would be the same, right?
Yeah,
I mean it's just miniaturized.
Yeah, but the pouch cells they look like your cell phone, and so they're more expensive. They have a higher charge and discharge rate, and they're much more stack efficient because you're out of space. Mm-hmm. So generally, the premium bikes are all using these expensive pouch cells because they need to cram as much energy in there as possible, in a minimum space. So all of the little kind of smaller scooters, mopeds, the ones you're mentioning, are generally going to have the cheaper cylinder cells because they're not springing from the premium pouches.
Right. So back to Liza's question, who's developing that? Is it all developed in China and everyone's incorporating that, or
no? I think
Zero building those specifically.
I think a lot of the designs are done here, but they might farm it out to China. Like Ferrosis, who makes Zero's battery cells, and I think also like Formula E battery cells. Their headquarters is in Hayward.
Okay.
But their factory's in China.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some companies like Zero Energica, I assume they're not just going and picking from a menu. They are giving specs and
their designs are
designing.
In-house. They design it.
Then they're having companies make it. But some companies, you can go to China and just pick parts.
Yeah, well, and
build something, and then the design is what you throw in.
Samsung makes battery cells you can buy off the shelf. The Samsung 50G is a very popular 2170 battery cell that's used in a lot of cars and a lot of bikes too, or the cheaper, the smaller bikes, or the
So I wanted to kind of separate because I know a lot of people still aren't excited about electric motorcycles, and they're like, I ride my Harley, I love it, I'm not giving it up, or my Goldwing or whatever. I get it. We're not trying to force you to change. We're not telling you need to change. What I'm saying is their shit is about to go down, and this is kind of exciting. So you have full-size bikes, which are categories like we said, like Zero live wire, stuff like that. Right. Yeah. Then you've got these mid-size, smaller bikes that are
Saunders,
basically
Rivet, Super 73.
a small displacement motorcycle. And then you have the electric scooters.
Overgrown e-bikes.
That are really common in other countries. Bagel, do you know anywhere that are really using a lot of e-scooters?
Oh, China.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, China's definitely got a lot of them.
Yeah.
There might be some other places in Southeast Asia as well, like Vietnam, possibly. I'm not sure.
But there are other countries where it's becoming really common. And then you get the e-bikes, things with pedals that qualify as like a moped, don't need a license, even though things like Surons can't go as fast as a lot of these scooters and motorcycles. It's kind of like the lines are getting really hazy.
Sur-Ron's fun because they're quality. They're meant to be hooligan machines. They're not meant to be the like the
but Super 73.
Super Soco, I was going to say, is the company that makes a real tame mopedish, but it looks like a finished motorcycle, but it's like top speed of 30 miles an hour.
Well, you get Super 73, Monday Motorbikes.
Super 73 very much wants to be a small motorcycle.
They're bikes, but their speed is getting up there. So it's blurring the line between the scooters and the small.
It's extremely important to the Super 73 crew that the bike does highway speeds. I know them because I know those guys and I've met with them. And that was like, this must do highway speeds. I will not accept anything less than it doing highway speeds.
So you get all these different variations, and some of it is because, yes, there isn't that much of a market now, but we already know in 2035 here in California, they've said you won't be able to buy new gas vehicles. It's a very good chance that Gavin Newsom won't be in office in 2035 and that a new law or goal will be created.
He'll be Gavin Olson.
But I'm just saying, as of right now, in California, there are companies gearing up to meet the demand that will be coming.
Another point that you brought up that I think is excellent is you were talking about parents getting their college kids a small bike to traipse around campuses or things like that.
Yeah.
And these fit the bill very, very well. And I counter-argued that, we have a stigma here, at least in North America, that motorcycles are dangerous and make you a little bit of a mischievous person. They don't have a wholesome connotation necessarily. So would you buy a motorcycle for your daughter? Whoa. And it's bogus. And you have tried very, very hard to combat that. And you do very, very well when you just on a daily basis with you promoting riding in general and things like Whir. But there's a stigma that we have to get past, I think, here as a country, that motorcycles should be more wholesome and accepted.
Well, and I was referring to, as I said in that article there, urban mobility. I say that, yes, we need to have a motorcycle that's freeway capable so we can leave our town, right? But I argue that there are a lot of small displacement scooters.
Yep.
And I mean, even going back when I was a kid, mopeds were a big deal, right? Yeah. That gave you more mobility than a bicycle.
Yep.
But were urban mobility. They're keeping you in your town. And I thought, I think they're actually more common and popular than we really think. Like the kid who came today on his 50cc scooter. I have another 50cc scooter in the driveway that my neighbor left, and I just sold it to my friend who's given it to her daughter to take up to college. And I'm like, I think that is a market that is not really on our radar.
It's a question of where does the demand, what niche does the e-bike not fill? That where does the electric kind of mopedish thing? Where's the step there? Where do you graduate from a good quality e-bike to a full-on electric
e-bike
moped
right
or scooter thing?
E-bikes are huge.
Oh yeah, they're awesome, and
it's huge.
There may not actually be a need for a kind of electric moped if you have e-bikes as good as they are.
How much are e-bikes going for?
Several thousand.
Because my hardware store down the street now has a range of e-bikes for sale up on the shelf. I'm like, for real? And they are about $1,300, I want to say.
It's going to depend on, again, build quality, because we're, again, still in the very much frontier Wild West. And I love the idea of a cheap e-bike, but having seen battery fires, I am also not okay with the idea of a cheap e-bike because I don't know how they built it and what safety measures they put in or didn't put in, because they can cheap out on this and it really ain't regulated.
Well, that's the difference between a cheap e-bike and an inexpensive e-bike.
Yeah. Well, and how is the average person supposed to know what brands are to be trusted within this frontier Wild West where everyone has an e-bike?
So what I'm saying is I think that so the e-bikes are already a huge market.
They're really cool.
And I think that the e-scooters can tap into that same same market, right? So
I don't know.
That
Can
already
they?
is being shown that it exists. But I wanted to talk a second about the electric dirt bikes, like Riehu entering that market.
Yeah.
I find this interesting because, we know that Alta came and went, and Alta
There's been a void ever since.
Made a great competition-worthy bike. But we're also not talking about an existing electric dirt bike that has been around a while, years now. And in fact, most people have never heard of it just because there isn't a market or demand for it.
For me to be interested in that, because similar to Jim, I go down to the desert and go up in the mountains and stuff and ride. It'd have to have the removable and exchangeable battery because I want to go out for a couple of days and be able to ride and not have to think about bringing a generator with me to recharge.
What I'm saying is I'm kind of surprised that companies like Riehu and there was another one, Cake, making the electric dirt bikes, bringing to the market when KTM has been making the free ride for, at least like 5 years longer, right?
Yeah, it's real small though.
But it's a legit...
It's a dirt bike.
Absolutely.
Dirt bike.
It's small, but it's between trials and dirt bike.
KTM makes the free ride an electric dirt bike, which it's a legit bike. And I think that for the small market that is looking for an electric dirt bike, they're supplying it. So I'm kind of surprised that there's more companies coming to try and get into that.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know that the market exists there for that. So that was interesting to me because, again, we're talking about all these different big bikes, small bikes, scooters, and then dirt bikes is a whole nother.
One really nice thing about dirt bikes is that generally you're not going to be going fast enough to be encountering the main problem that electric highway bikes encounter, which is wind resistance and aerodynamic drag. Because if you're traipsing back hills and trails doing spurts of between 10 and 30 miles an hour, and you're whipping around on narrow trails, you're going to get a lot more range than any highway, electric road bike, just because you're not getting all that wind drag. And so you could, even on a battery like half the size of the road bike, you could be out there for hours on the trails and still have plenty of get up and go. Like this is just the reality of it, is because you're going overall slower. You're not constantly hammering the throttle at all times. You're on, off, on, off, on, off. It is great for that.
Yeah.
It is really great for that. And so the things like this Riehu and the Stark bike, which is the other competition, if those come out as promised, those could be like really fun, like trail bikes, or just mess around at Hollister Hills around here locally, or just to mess around in the woods, and it doesn't bother people because there's not lots of noise and smoke and risk of setting things on fire.
So again, let's just talking about these dirt bikes. So got the KTM free ride. Now we got the Riehu and the Stark. Do you think this will start bringing the price down now that there's competition for the market?
Well, right now there's nothing to compare it against because there's nothing exists. So they're going to set the prices, then they're going to fight amongst themselves for control of the market.
The other thing that's interesting is a lot of people don't realize or remember that Zero started out as a dirt bike.
Well, bicycle.
But it was dirt off-road.
They still make the FX, which is
no, but not street legal, off-road. So it is more cost effective for companies to make an off-road only vehicle because you don't have to meet all the like DOT demands and controls. And so you can bring something to market more affordably and then get your foot into the market.
You realize Suron's also making a dirt bike, the Storm Bee. We're back to bees again.
And Bagel, you have a deposit down on the Super 73 motorcycle. Have you had any update on that?
There was an update a couple of months ago, I think. It wasn't any big news, but I think they were just moving forward towards production, and I think they were going to say it's next year.
So
look up the Suron Storm Bee.
Yeah, I'll check that out. So,
all right, Bagel, you're cutting out.
Yeah. All right. So,
sorry.
So here's my question: if there's only a handful of manufacturers making the components, the batteries, the inverters.
There's a lot of battery manufacturers and a lot of inverter manufacturers and a lot of motor manufacturers.
So basically all these new bikes that are coming out are just iterations on different chassis and sort of setups for the most part, right?
Yeah, kind of.
So the question for me is, and as somebody who's kind of curious about electric motorcycles but not ready to pull the trigger, my question is like, who's driving the technology to make them better? Because if it's all coming from similar suppliers making similar technology, to go to the next level, it feels like there needs to be a massive, inflection of cash into it, like from Kawasaki or from Yamaha, in order to sort of just go to the next level in terms of battery technology and motor technology. Is that right, or am I not?
And there's one other important factor you're forgetting: charging technology.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of these, the companies like Kawasaki or Honda are just dipping their toe into the water, just in the most.
That's a big toe, though.
There's just but they're barely like they touch the surface and they're just make the faintest of ripples, and no one's diving in. Kawasaki is making a small displacement hybrid electric thing,
but it's only a matter of time, isn't it? Before
Honda showed an outline of drop shadow of like 10, and they were all scooter shaped.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like one was possibly small motorcycle shaped, but the rest of them all scooters. Like nothing's diving in head first. Ducati, people are going to point and say, "Oh, but Ducati," because Ducati's taking over Moto E.
Yep.
They have not even hinted that they would make that bike available for the public.
Yeah.
So let me ask you though, because I know you follow this closely, and most of these bikes you're familiar with or heard of. Is there anyone who you think is going to take the lead and be the strong survivor?
Yeah.
Because again, you have big companies who are going to have money behind them, and then you have these little companies.
They're just picking up the pieces. Little companies.
I hate the wait and see answer, because I've seen from so many people is that, well, I'm just going to wait until one of the big companies makes the thing.
I'm assuming Honda will swoop down. They're not ignoring what's going on. They're following very closely what everyone is doing.
Yeah, they have to be, and they may straight up buy out Zero or something. Like if they fell in love with Zero, they could just go, well, we're going to buy you. Your Zero is now a division of Honda now.
I assume when Honda comes, it's game over. That's what I assume. Lights out for everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't have a strong impression from anyone right now. I don't get a sense from anyone of who's that's going to be right now. I just don't. I don't get that it's going to be Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki, or Yamaha. I don't get a feeling from anyone. And especially how Harley treated the whole Livewire project. They had embraced it, and then they kind of gave an awkward, backed off the hug halfway through.
How much are they still investing in Livewire? Are they still involved?
There's been some unhappy news articles of how they just had an investor pull out of $100 million.
Ooh, really?
Something like that. And I don't want, first off, I don't want to badmouth the company or the bikes, because the Livewire is a phenomenal bike, and I think the S2 Del Mar, the upcoming one, looks really cool.
It's cool.
I think there's things I would change, but no one asked me. I think if it had taller suspension and knobbies, it could be a cool off-road bike.
It could. It's almost there.
It looks like it wants to be. But yes, go ahead.
All right, I have a question. All right, so can we just try to give the big picture? Styling is something that each company can bring their own styling. That's something that can be unique. But when it comes to battery technology, charging technology, and controller technology,
that's my total point.
It's not like there's anyone who's creating something that's completely different and far ahead, right? We're kind of bound by the current limitations. Current limitations of design and engineering, right?
Yeah.
So if anyone says that they make something twice as better than the other, it may not be correct. So generally, right? And then you get certain bikes, like some of these mid-sized bikes, they're literally pulling parts off of a shelf and creating something that is just a smaller, simpler, cheaper version of something, right?
Yeah.
So now I forget my question.
Well, I think it goes back. I think it goes back to the greater industry.
No.
When Isn't there sodium batteries that are coming out soon?
I mean, everyone's promised the moon.
So the thing is, to go off of what Liza's saying, once something like a sodium battery is developed by somebody, then it'll filter in,
I'll
right?
believe it when I see it.
All right. So my question is, again, establishing everybody's kind of limited by the same engineering and technology right now. And if it's a cheaper bike, it's because it's just off the part. But
or they
has
skimped on
anybody bringing something to the market that is, they're doing something better than other people? For instance, we mentioned the Damon announced that they were making a bike that did something no one else does.
Right. And I can't speak to the Damon until I actually see. They don't have any production. However, I will say one of the things among many promises they have promised, there are two things that look really appealing.
Yes.
If the bike ever makes it to the streets.
Yes.
Two of those things are their original shift technology, which is the one where you press a button and it moves the handlebars and the pegs to be more relaxed or more aggressive on the fly.
Do you know about this?
No, I haven't known about it.
It raises the bars.
That's really cool.
Or lowers the bar and the pegs to make it more upright or more scrunched down.
So, I want to repeat this. This is a bike that you can change the ergonomics at a press of a button.
On the fly.
Yeah.
So the suspension, the pegs, and the
I don't
handlebars.
know if the suspension does anything.
I mean, that's like
I believe
MotoGP
it's
technology.
suspension. It's the seat height. The seat height changes.
Quite frankly, it's just like a servo and some.
Right, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
But they made it so that you can adjust the bars and the pegs to fit your body.
Yeah. So,
But again, that's a chassis thing, not a battery.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All things being the same in the technology, who's doing something different?
And
they announced that.
The
and
other
that's
thing
cool.
that they announced, again, these bikes don't exist yet, so you can't. I'm not going to put any weight behind this, but they also said they wanted to have bidirectional charging on it. Means you could pull up and plug this thing into your house and power your house off of it, which I love because all EVs should be doing that. We have all these people buying Tesla Powerwalls and other battery backup systems for your home, yet you're driving around on one that has 5 times the energy density and you can't pull the power out. Stupid. But
you don't need
I think the Ford Lightning does that, right?
they have a small inverter. They're dipping the toe in the right direction, but you should be able to just tap into.
Right.
So other than Damon, who else is doing something slightly different, which has to be like design or chassis? It's not going to be battery or charging. Is anybody doing something different?
Again, I don't know if Damon's actually going to do anything, but we'll see.
Right,
I don't want to trash him right now.
But that's their goal.
Yeah.
So who else says they're bringing something different? And I'm wondering if any of these things are going to become more common that everyone will have.
There are
eventually.
definite, small refinements within the electric motorcycle world, but I don't see anything like that goes, oh my God, I can't believe no one's ever done that yet. Like there's a lot of things I really, really like, but I don't want to just drone on and on about different features of Zero or Livewire or Energica right now, even though all three companies are doing cool things in their own right, but there's nothing that's like, oh crap, that could affect the whole industry. To that, I want to seg into something that I think very much would, and this is partly due to my dad's life work. Obviously, for those of you who know, my dad's Craig Vetter, who did Vetter fairings and other designs.
That would be Saint Craig Vetter.
And he, one of the things he's always bugged him was the FIM's ruling in 1957 that banned streamlining killed dustbin fairings. And he's right. It was, I actually dug through old magazines and I found the actual announcements of the actual date. I wrote it down and I can bring them in sometime if you want. But essentially, the banning of dustbin fairings, I think, has been misconstrued and misunderstood.
And dustbin is referring to the fact that it also covers the front wheel?
Dustbin actually is because it looks like an ash bucket, which is in England, where you scoop out your ashes in your fireplace. You turn one of those 90 degrees sideways, it looks exactly like the fairings that they put on the 1950s race bikes. So dustbin fairing, they covered the front wheel and most of the rider and all that, and they really sped up the riders. And there were crashes and accidents exponentially higher than before because they were going higher speeds, and they had really crappy tires and really crappy suspension, really crappy brakes, and board track races, racetracks. And they needed something to slow the riders down. And they're like, well, this is, and they demonized the dustbin fairings and completely outlawed them in 1957. And it was a stopgap. They should have fix the tires, fix the tracks, fix the whatever. But somehow people got it that these things will just absolutely blow over in the side winds. There's ways around that. There's ways around. You could engineer this. You can make a gap. You can make a thing. And I was watching this recently. It was like a 10-minute video about the amazing technology of streamlining of today, where they've added the wing.
Yeah,
and I was like, and it briefly touched on the dustbin fairings. And I said, well, and these things are exceptionally dangerous, and there's just no way around that. And then moved on. I'm like, I would absolutely love it if someone would get into someone in the FIM's ear to revert this, and then let people experiment with what actual real streamlining does. Because one of the things that Dad did is he loved to build fully enclosed streamlined shapes, which, fine, they look like a giant fish. They're not attractive. But there's got to be an in-between. And with Dad's streamlined body shape, he got double the range. Double. Whoa. That's how Terry Kirchner crossed the U.S. and Alan Smith. Taking the standard, an Energica bike that in his 2017 model would get 60 highway miles. It's doing 120 highway miles. Same bike, just different bodywork.
Wow.
There is no reason that the FIM shouldn't roll this back. And if you actually find the danger, engineer around it. Engineer around that so they don't blow over in the side wind and act like a giant sail. You put a hole in it in certain parts. But
right. And today we have the technology for brakes and tires and suspension where we can completely set it up to that. Absolutely.
So why aren't Zero and Livewire?
Sorry.
Gosh.
Thanks, Bagel.
Persistent.
Why aren't they investing in that kind of fairing technology? Just
because it's understood that will make you fall over. Because everyone knows that.
Well, you put training wheels on that pop out and you slow down.
And also because if the FIM undid it and then that technology would make its way to the track and you start to get more slippery, streamlined shapes with that is what people want to like. That guy, the track bikes got the fastest bike. I want that. I want that. That makes its way down to the street.
Drives
bikes.
The technology all the way.
All right, I have another question.
If the FIM would revert that, we could have so much cool stuff, and it would double your efficiency. You could get people, this bike doesn't have range 150 miles, 300 miles, because it's all of a sudden a streamlined body shape.
Right.
People would love that.
Come on, FIM. The misfits are calling you.
Are you done whining?
You asked me here as an expert, Liza, so I'm giving my expert opinion.
I know. I have another question. So we were just talking about how all things being the same in the industry, that I'm just wondering if somebody was to come out with an electric motorcycle that costs $100,000.
Although those exist.
Could it be a bike that meets all the things the public wants? Could it be a bike that can go 200 miles on a charge that's charged in 5 minutes? Or are we bound by technology right
Physics
now?
is physics, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
Right now, lithium-ion chemistry is that really
money
hurts.
Not an issue. I'm saying, could they make a bike?
Sure, but you replace the battery pack every 500 cycles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just you've fried it.
That'll be $20,000 to do that, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because that's the other thing is the money.
It'll wear it out super fast.
Yeah.
Because you got. What's an average Energica or Zero now, like 20?
Low to mid 20s.
Low to mid 20s. So then you also have people trying to come out with these
the Livewire, the Zero
$5,000
right. That's where the Saunders Metacycle tried to come in. They ended up coming in at 65, but they promised 5 at the start, and they had a lot of trouble following up.
So it's here, now we're back to
one more thing actually that I really like in this area that we're going to is I think it's really cool is because these are so damn simple, motor, inverter, battery pack, there's a big DIY crowd out there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great YouTube videos of people just taking the time to learn, I can get racks of battery cell holders and I can wire them. I can put them in series and wire them into a BMS. And I can get this controller, the ASI BAC 8000. That's a really powerful inverter. And I can get this motor from QS's hub motor. And I've got this old 1974 Honda frame. And I can stuff it all. And my God, I've built my own motorcycle that I can go and get groceries on. And people, they get super excited. They get super jazzed about it. They're not like super high performance, but it's something that they have done. They feel super accomplished doing. They've made their own electric motorcycle.
Sounds like the start of motorcycle in general, back when they were converting bicycles.
We're in the frontiers, my friends, and I absolutely love watching these enthusiasts. A lot of them don't know what they're doing. A lot of stuff are doing stuff very dangerous. Okay, fine, live and learn. Hopefully, don't hurt yourself or anyone else. But there's all sorts of great resources out there to learn this. There's a forum called Endless Sphere, endless-sphere.com. And that's the go-to DIY electric motorcycle forum, and it's a great learning resource.
I think the better analogy actually is the analogy. I think from what I know of motorcycle history, there's a bunch of people making stuff in their garages.
Yep.
And then the technology matriculated up through, and then all of a sudden Harley grabs it, and Triumph grabs it, and Peugeot grabs it, and all these big, and it becomes more, and then they sort of exponentially bring it to the next level and bring it to the masses and drive the cost down.
There is that, but I think there is a little hidden gem of a just in the market of people doing their own DIY stuff and taking their frame of their old favorite thing.
But that's a special person who knows how to build stuff.
Not necessarily. It's like it's not that complicated.
We have people who can't change their oil. You know what I mean?
No oil change in these.
Going back now, I'm still trying to figure out why are all these companies coming in at the same time and who's going to win. So let's talk about the Eric Buell's Fuell, right?
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Here's
idea.
somebody who's been in the industry a long time, is a innovator and a designer, much like your dad, who was developing motorcycles different with his the radial brakes and stuff like that. What is he doing different with Fuell?
Great question. Thank you. In my expert opinion, anyway, I actually do have some thoughts on this because I studied this bike as much as I could when he first announced it. And there are some unique things that he's doing. He very much is embracing more proper body style. Like it's a smooth, continuous shape. It's not, it is not FIM fairing at all. So he is hopefully going to build upon the aerodynamic benefits. However, he's capping the top speed like super low. It was like 55, I think. When I read it, maybe it's changed now.
Well, it says it'll do 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds.
Again, this is the bizarre thing. But like it does that, and then that's it. It has this massive hub motor, and both wheels are actually both filled in. They don't have spokes.
No, this one has spokes on the front.
Oh, the back one's filled in because it's a hub motor.
Yeah.
So it is a hub motor. And it was a very, very powerful hub motor. If it allows it to do 0 to 60 in 3.5, but the top speed was like 60. Like that's it. It was. And the other thing he wanted to do, which I applaud him for, was it was DC fast charge compatible at like a really high speed, like 20 minutes charge time. So it's odd because he was trying to make his sort of commuter-ish bike, but with like premium features on it. It was odd, and it was because it was like almost in the moped category of top speed, but it had ridiculous premium parts and price tag.
I'm also seeing these common phrases. It's a urban motorcycle.
Yeah.
Which means
not highway.
And an e-commuter.
I think it had a big pocket in it too.
Yeah, it's got a lot of storage.
Like in the tank area, I think there's a giant pocket.
But what they're saying that it's that he's doing different is that it's designed to be upgraded easily. That is modular.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, Zero's been that way for a long time. You could take any Zero between like 2013 and 2020 and swap out the batteries.
He's saying he's got 21 utility and design patents on this new bike.
Good for him.
So I'm not sure what they are.
I don't think we'll ever find out either.
Yeah, exactly. So, Flow was designed in a modular way to evolve with technology and allow for upgradability.
Best of luck to him. It's just odd because it's not a highway bike, which people are gonna have issue with, especially in places like LA. They need to hop on the highway for a little stretch.
Now, another thing that...
I mean, it'll go 85. I mean, that's...
Really? Is that the top? Because I thought it was capped a lot lower.
So
no, I'm looking... It's 85.
Okay, maybe it's changed. Yeah. I'm misinformed then. I'm out of
So here's
my
something that the Fuell Flow is doing that I haven't heard on other bikes. That it's going to have optional safety technologies like blind spot detection and anti-collision warning.
That is the big thing that Damon has built their entire platform claiming.
All right, so that's another thing that Damon is
the things that the Damon company started off advertising were two things. One was the 360-degree radar anti-collision stuff, and they've made the claims of, well, we will completely eliminate motorcycle crashes by 2035. I was like, And the other thing was the shift, the rider position changing, the bars and pegs. Those were the two things. They weren't even trying to make a motorcycle at first, as far as I can tell. And the best of my knowledge, what I can find out is that they were just advertising these technologies, and someone came along with a big bag of money and said, make it. And they went, oh. And they've been trying to do that for the last 3 or 4 years.
Well, one of the things that we misfits like to do is offer unsolicited advice. And since we don't have a single person in front of us to offer this advice, I want to instead go around the room and ask everybody what things they want to see on an electric motorcycle. And we are going to be giving our unsolicited advice to the man.
Which one's the man?
Just the man. Any of them.
Could be a woman. Could be a woman.
You
right?
never know. They could be listening. So I am going to say what I would like to have on an electric motorcycle that I don't know that anyone is doing. I want to have a ripping sound system.
Buy a JBL speaker set.
There you go.
I'm just saying, it's a giant battery. I want to have a sound system built into it. Why not? Right?
Fine with that. Great. I love it.
Okay. John, what do you want to have?
That person on the subway that wears the headphones inside out so you blast your tunes. Everyone loves that person.
What do you want to have?
Well, an affordable price. But,
yeah, you know.
Yeah, but above that.
We're being realistic here.
I know. But above that, I would be most interested in e-bikes and e-motorcycles for dirt riding. So I want an exchangeable battery that I can go away for a weekend and not have to worry about plugging in somewhere.
Now, that's not going to happen here in the U.S. They didn't join that, right? There were a few countries that all agreed and manufacturers.
Well, the company.
There's a couple companies that are in talks partnering. It's not a country thing; it's companies. There's a couple of them, like Honda and they're in talks to make a standardized battery, which I have a rambling topic about, but I'm not going to do that here and now.
Like I want to be able to do the BDR on an electric bike. That's a tall order.
Someone did that on a Zero DSR recently. I think.
Did. Well, you just got to plan your stops, I guess, around plugins.
Yeah.
All right, Bagel, what do you want to have on an electric motorcycle?
Well, I want to have, scooter preferably. I would have a really big battery and freeway speeds.
Okay.
That's what I want.
All right. Bagel!
I'm trying to shut it down because it's just a lost cause at this point.
Okay, well... and I want to have, to go with that sound system, here's what I want to have. I want to have programmable sound effects, right? You can make your electric motorcycle sound like anything through those speakers.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind to sound like a Jetsons car.
There we go. See what I'm saying? You can have different.
Mine would be the motorcycle from Excite Bike, the NES game.
That is something that would be fun. If you have sound effects, so you can make it sound like what you want it to sound like.
There's companies out there making little janky things that do that. I'm not a fan, but that's me. That's not my thing.
Then what is it that you want to see besides a dustbin fairing?
That I want the FIM to remove those stupid bylaws. I want them to revert them. They are ridiculous. They are archaic, and I think the entire motorcycle industry could massively benefit from rolling this back and fixing aerodynamics to be not stupid. Because
just for electric or for gas bikes too?
Everything.
Yeah.
It would, but the thing is, it would benefit electric more than anything else because the aerodynamics, the wind resistance, hurts electric so much more than gas.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to bring something else up, Morgan. Since you're here, now, all right. I just want to ask you if you want to comment on the Zero. What's not Cypress? What is it?
Cypher store.
Cypher store.
Yeah.
Store. Now we talked about this recently, and I also used as an example. KTM has announced that they have on the new 890 Adventure that you can pay for upgrades.
Yeah.
So I just want to get your opinion on Zero, and if other electric companies are going to follow. Do you think that this is scammy or not, that you pay to unlock battery capacity and charging times Is that scary?
I generally try to stay neutral on these things, just in fairness to the companies. But
and I'm not throwing zero under because that's why I said KTM is doing
Tesla
the same
does that
thing.
too. I think.
Yes, they do. And also, it was it BMW or Mercedes got into huge trouble for doing a monthly billing for heated seats in Europe.
Exactly. This is not just one company doing it. It's an industry thing that's happening.
It's an unfortunate way of the world that we're going to see happen because people put up with it. Frankly, because and this is all. I would probably blame it stemming back from video game microtransactions. Companies like Electronic Arts doing that nonsense, and it's seeped its way into the automotive world. I don't like it, but I think it's going to be reality.
Does it lower the entry point for certain folks?
There are a couple things where I like it a little bit, like Zero's SR. It's a detuned SRF, visually identical for most part. There's like one hardware change, but it's an attractive price point. I think $18,999, something like that. But you could pay a little extra and upgrade it to get basically the SRF and SRS's specs if you want to in certain things. But I kind of like the lower. I don't like that you've already paid for these physical parts, but you can't use them until pay for more. But I kind of. On the entry level ones, I can sort of see the appeal of the upgrade path.
So should we expect to see this on more electric vehicles?
Yep. It's gonna happen to everything.
Did you see the Buell bikes starting at 11.9?
If he makes them, good for you, Eric. I hope so.
I mean, that's quite a bit.
What was the battery capacity? 12?
Yes.
I just guessed that. I had no memory whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of funny. You think about it, that a lot of times the price reflects the battery capacity in kilowatt hours.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
All right. So, and then last question, because we're going to wrap this up. For the people who have no interest in electric and they're not really
they've already tuned out, so they're not even listening.
No,
Just go test ride one and come back with a smile.
No, stop. What I want to ask you, what is all these companies, all these new bikes coming to market all at the same time, what does that mean to all the riders out there? Does this mean that it's going to speed up the availability and the infrastructure, and that they may be getting into it sooner than they realized? Like, what does this mean to the person whose electric isn't really on their radar yet?
I don't think it means anything in terms of infrastructure, because most of these smaller bikes don't use public EV charging infrastructure. They're meant to be lower power, so then you plug in your wall socket at home. It'll have no bearing on infrastructure. What I'd like to do is increase awareness that these things exist and get the public interested in it, so that every time I stop and charge, someone comes up, they make electric bikes? And if we can get more and more of that every day, eventually people will discover, yes, there are electric bikes and they're really cool. And you should go test ride one. Even if you don't end up liking, wanting to put the money down, you at least know they're there and you can check back on them periodically.
All right. And then the last question, and this is for everybody here. I'm going to ask you a question. So we're coming up on our 500th episode. It's taken about 10 years to get here. So on our 1000th episode, I want to come back and listen to this. And I want everyone to make a prediction now for 10 years
Diapers,
from now.
male diaper.
Which company do you think will be the industry leader in electric motorcycles? Will it be somebody that's existing now, and pick your pony, or will it be a company we have yet to hear of? So I'm going with Honda. That is my pony.
I'm going with you on Honda.
You're going with Honda?
Yeah, I really am.
All right. Bagel, who you going with?
Oh, man.
He's got to pick Vespa.
No. Vespa's so behind the curve on electrics.
Who's going to, it might be,
they were a leader.
It might be Zero Energica. They may stay in
or
the
even
lead.
Tesla.
Tesla's staunchly a motorcycle.
I have, part of me, really wants to say Zero, because I think they've done really well so far, and they continue to.
I hope they do.
They continue to work really hard at producing great bikes.
They continue to get investing to help them grow.
Yeah.
So you sticking with Zero?
I'm going to go with Zero.
All right.
Yep.
Morgan.
The expert here.
This is
10 years. Who's going to be the industry leader in electric motorcycles?
I'm going to go with someone we haven't heard of yet.
Okay.
I think someone else. I think there's some innovation that's ripe for taking, that someone's going to come out with something really cool.
And do you think this will be a large company that just hasn't introduced electric yet? Like he said, Tesla, or do you think it'll be just a smaller company we've yet to hear of now?
I think it'd probably be a larger one.
Okay.
That's why my bet's on Honda, because they're going to develop all this technology for their cars anyway. So they might as well.
I could also be cheating and saying Honda might split off an electric division. You know, that could be something we haven't heard of yet.
Well, because I think Honda's already planning on phasing out gas cars anyway. So,
or you could say, well, I mean, Hero. It might be Hero.
Yeah, might be
Harley Davidson.
I'm just saying.
That was a joke.
All right. Well, guess what, guys? It's game time.
Oh, right.
And I didn't dig deep in the bag for this one. I brought out an old game and I turned it into a new game.
All right.
And this game is simple.
Yep.
This is going to be single elimination spelling bee.
Oh, God.
Oh,
well, it's all about, once again, we're back to bees.
Bagel, you're going to win this one.
It's all back to bees in the end. Space bees.
Just give it to Bagel right now.
So what I did was I printed out an old list from a game we played called Commonly Mispronounced. And these were things in the motorcycle industry that are commonly mispronounced.
Is one of them Energica?
Energica.
Morgan actually gets angry if you misplace.
So I'm going to read to you the word, and all you have to do is spell it. It is that simple.
All right.
This could be a company, it could be a component, it could be anything. All right, I'm going to go with these make great mopeds. John, starting with you, it's Pook.
It's Puch.
That is correct.
I would not have gotten that.
All right, Morgan. Since you love the bees so much, we're going to go with a Acerbis.
Oh, Acerbis.
That is correct.
That means bee?
It's a special kind of bee that likes to sit at Acerbis.
It's pronounced Acerbis. People mispronounce it.
Acerbis.
That's why I always called it Acerbis.
All right.
Later she gets
Bagel.
Yes.
Dianese.
Dainese.
Ooh, very good. All right, coming down to John.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with, this is a nice exhaust system.
I know what you're going to do.
Kropovich. Kropovich. Oh, he's looking up and thinking. He's looking up.
Can you give it to me in a sentence?
That's a gnarly Kropovich, dude.
He's trying to look at your tiny models and read the stickers on the wall.
AKROPIVCH.
No.
How far off was I?
Bad.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like Akropovic, I think.
It's
AKROPOVIC.
Akropovich. AKRAPOVIC.
Yeah.
John, you are out. We are down to 2.
That wasn't fair. I knew you were going to give me that one.
What?
It's not fair.
Okay, let's see.
Give me something
Morgan.
nice and hard like fork.
I should get a mulligan.
Morgan, let's go with nacelle. Do you know what a nacelle is? You should know. Many Harleys have a nacelle. It streamlines the headlight. Did you know that?
It's a single part of the battery. It's nacelle of the battery.
No.
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 Nacelle.
That is correct. It's a shroud
Never heard of
around
it.
the headlight. Okay.
Stop showing off, Morgan.
All right. Bagel.
Yes.
I don't think you have many panniers on scooters, do you?
They got easy ones.
There are not a lot, but you can. There are some you can install. Yes.
How do you spell panniers?
PANNIERS.
That is correct.
I was hoping there was going to be a startup chime from your computer right as you asked that. That was what I was really hoping for.
No, it's off now.
Boom.
All right, let's go with Morgan. How about Marcassini? They make good forks.
Marchesini?
Marcassini.
MARCHESINI.
That is correct.
Dang.
They make wheels too.
Yeah, they do. Hey, Bagel.
Yes.
I know you ride in the cold a lot. Do you ever wear a balaclava?
I've tried it once or twice, but I found it kind of uncomfortable, so I didn't bother wearing them.
Yeah, but ninjas love them. How do you spell balaclava?
It is spelled Balaclava.
That is
not
correct.
to be confused with the delicious flaky pastry from the Middle East using
baklava.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
There was a very funny comedy sketch where a guy made a baklava and then cut out eye holes in a mouth, then showed up, and his two friends are like, and he's everything there with ski mask. He's oh, balaclava, because he's wearing it on his face.
And there's bacala too.
At least he tasted good.
It smelled delicious. It was steamy, hot, flaky.
All right. Now we are to Morgan. I'll give you an easy one. Moto Guzzi.
MOTO space GUZZI.
That is correct.
If I got that wrong, Emma would never talk to me again.
All right. Bagel.
Yes.
Hodaka. Did they ever make scooters?
Not that I know of. But lots of great off-road
Who mispronounces that?
Yeah.
This is the mispronouncing round,
Yes,
right?
I know.
How do they mispronounce it? Hodaka?
Hodaka?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hodaka.
That is correct. Hanukkah.
I mean, that's the
like
Jewish
Hanukkah?
holiday, right? Not Christmas.
All
It's
right.
Hanukkah.
Exactly. Send your complaints to Philip Cleveland Motor.
When you have a cold.
All right. Morgan. Aramaki.
I don't even know what that is.
Aramaki, they used to
Italian
own Harley.
Okay, well, if it's Italian, ERMACCI.
Nope.
That is incorrect.
CHI?
AERMACCHI. And just to lock in the win, Bagel, can you spell Bruff Superior?
BROUGH space SUPERIOR.
How'd you get
That
superior
is
wrong?
correct.
Max started
We
himself.
have a winner.
What does Bagel get for the prize?
Superior.
A new logic board.
A Bruff Superior?
No. We just have a couple emails. So let's see. John, you want to read one, or should I give it to him?
Well, you're the boss, girl.
Yeah, but he's got that great radio voice.
Oh, I'll do it.
Give it to Morgan then.
All right, Morgan. Here,
I've got a voice made for oil
I
painting.
read this one. Sorry, Bagel. There's only two. I didn't send you one yet.
Oh, it's okay.
This one is from Chris. He says, "Hey there, peoples. Massive follower of your Motorcycles and Misfits. In particular, Emma's knowledge is fantastic. Just finished listening to podcast 486 back in August, as I quite often will re-listen. The Africa Twin heritage conversation was awesome. I'm an 80s motorcycle nut. We were talking about, the heritage of bikes today. And he says, however, the reference to the XLV 750 I thought was the rather soft shaft drive version with a red engine, and the Africa Twins were the initially XRV 650 and then the 750. Feel free to roast me on the podcast if I'm wrong. Keep up the awesome podcast and YouTube channel. See us from New Zealand." Chris.
I could have had an accent letter that you could.
Yeah,
I could have read
know.
an accent letter.
I'm sorry.
You could do the accent in the next one.
And he sent 2 pictures of Africa Twins. Now,
They're identical
I
because they're
don't know
twins.
the difference, and part of that is because I do know that like other countries got Africa Twins that we didn't get here.
Yeah,
I know
think
that
you're right.
like Australia still,
Australia.
they're getting bikes.
Africa Twins.
So coming from New Zealand, it may be
we
something.
didn't get the run with the red engine. There's no way.
Yeah, it may be something that we
They probably call
didn't
it Africa
get
Twins.
here.
Africa Twin. It's pretty neat to do
You
with the
just needed to do it, didn't you?
corner.
Yeah. So thank you for sending that in, and I love the
The red one's cool looking though.
the red one is
It looks like a
cool looking with that red motor.
looks like an XR650, but
I'm for reference. She's showing me a small printout from 10 feet away.
Hold on.
That I'm supposed. No. That's okay. It's better this way. If I act a martyr. Oh, she's
sending
wadding up
it
and
to
throwing it
you.
at me. I'd be
There you
throwing
go. I
paper.
sent it to you.
Look at it. She very thoughtfully crumbled it
Express.
up. So now,
What do you think? The red engine, that is cool.
yeah, it is. Probably doesn't hold up well, 30 years later in terms of like whatever they painted it with.
yeah, it's silver now.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's cool. Thank you for sending that in. All right, what do you have there?
All right, message called Fuel Filters. It's from Cafe Moto X.
Yes.
This is not a question. This is an idea of a service item you may wish to discuss to educate and inform people on. Del Boy's Garage just posted a video on replacing a fuel filter on a Triumph Bonneville. I had absolutely no idea such a thing existed. I looked at my Yamaha FC07 user manual, and I see no mention of it. I recently started using VP Racing Fuel Stabilizer and Fuel System Cleaner, so I hope that's enough. But I guess this is something I'll have to check when purchasing bikes now. Though I wonder if this is only on Triumph and Harley bikes, and only on a subset of them. And then there's a YouTube link.
Yeah, so this was something I really, really appreciated, that email, because it made me think, wait, fuel filter. I'm like, what, do my bikes have fuel filters?
My non-carburet, my fuel injection bikes don't.
Well,
maybe in the gas tank they might.
My KTM 990 has pouch filters in the gas tank that you can't replace, and you have to remove the tank and the fuel pump and all this stuff. It's really complicated. It's not an inline fuel filter like we're used to. But here's an interesting thing. I was hanging out with Jim yesterday, and he was doing some maintenance on his Sierra 450 XL, whatever it is, right? And he's going through the book, and it says inspect your fuel line at this mileage, inspect or replace your fuel filter. And I was like, interesting. Now his is a performance bike, often used for racing, so they're recommending that you replace it pretty often. And I just went, oh wow, that's interesting. Does my Africa Twin have one? I don't know. Are they, if it's fuel injected, it's not an inline filter like we're used to, right? It's probably a whole new system like my KTM has. And it made me just start thinking, is this yet another thing much like brake fluid that people don't think about replacing as often as they should?
Well, if only Emma was here.
Well, brake fluid, we know it loses efficiency slowly, so you don't notice that you're losing braking.
Right.
And a fuel filter, I'm wondering if it's possible that it is also losing efficiency slowly, so you're not getting the fuel supply you need.
Well, I suspect also, if people don't know it exists, they're not checking it.
Yes.
Well, I suspect on a modern bike, you would get an error code if the fuel efficiency went down. The fuel flow efficiency went down.
I have a distinct memory of my childhood in the 90s. Yes, I know. When we'd go to auto shops or car parts stores before they were actually all AutoZones or O'Reilly's or whatever. We had a local car parts store, and all of them always had at the counters little 25-cent little fuel filters you could buy.
They still do.
Okay, that's my distinct memory. That's all I could think about this whole time as I was reading this and we were talking. I was like, it's got a black top, a clear thing, and there's a kind of a star-shaped filter. Mm-hmm. That's all I was thinking about. So they still do that. Okay, is that kind of the thing you'd add on?
Well, and you put it in your cars too. They're really common in cars,
right?
Particularly with carburation. I don't think with fuel injection.
Yeah, Bagel, is this a common thing on the Vespas?
Well, the modern Vespas have one of those little pouch filters built into the fuel pump, but that's the only filter I think they've got. Vintage Vespas have there's a little filter in the float bowl where the fuel inlet comes into the carb, but that's about it. Just like a little screen, sort of like a disc at the top of the float bowl.
So, do our KLRs have this? See, you're thinking too, and this is why I said I really appreciate this email, because it got me thinking. Oh shoot, this is something I really haven't.
I'm pretty sure we all bought those little filters from the gas station, not the gas station, the car parts place, and spliced them into our lines. I have little hose clamps. I have memories of that.
I know it's an old bike, but when I was working on that CX500 Turbo, it had an inline fuel filter.
There is an OEM replacement filter for a KLR.
There we go.
Are they mesh or are they paper?
No, they're the old school inline ones.
Yeah.
Were they made out of
usually it's a paper.
Yeah, it looks like paper inside.
Yeah.
I've seen the metal mesh ones sometimes that, yeah. meant to get particulates out, I suppose.
So, yeah, thank you for bringing this up. And this is something that, now I need to go out there. We need to start checking all of our fuel filters.
Yeah, check mine.
Yeah, it's definitely got me thinking.
Now you've got me worried. I got to go check my electric bike for the fuel filter.
Yeah. I know. Now John's like, well,
yeah, I might retract my statement there. I'm not sure.
Yeah. You don't want any dirty electrons.
No,
there
this is the worst.
Your electrical system.
Oh yeah, it fouls up the steam tubes.
Yeah, I don't think the KLR does. In second, interesting.
I mean, KLRs. I think of KLRs as the analogy of an AK-47. They're basically they're kind of loose tolerances, and they'll run, and you can put another part on them from another KLR, and it'll work.
Well, the Gen 2s are carbureted, so that's why I was thinking that it might have them on.
Yeah, most likely it has a little filter around the inlet on the fuel tap. One of those little sort of like a copper brass filter.
Yeah.
A little mesh thing.
I don't know that the KLR will care if it's dirty fuel. It's a KLR.
Carburetor's a carburetor, though.
It'll probably just eat it and eat that the exhaust, and
And and then also a lot of these newer bikes have these pouch systems in the tank. I'm pretty sure. Oh, the Africa Twin. I had a recall on that.
On the red motor?
No, I had to take that. I remember I had to take it in. There was a recall on the fuel filter that could cause the bike to stall suddenly. And I had to take it in because I have to take the tank off and go into the tank to do that. So, yeah, these are not simple things. And I really haven't looked at the maintenance schedule.
It looks like my Triumph has one.
We're all just like,
go figure.
Whoa.
There's a fuel pump filter strainer.
Everyone's been having mild problems. Their bikes are going to swap out their filters and all of a sudden be amazed tomorrow.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about my vacuum cleaner. Last time I changed that filter.
Oh, you've got to change that. Come on. Oh, please, God, Liza, for the sake of check your dryer lint trap. There's a lint trap.
I know. Well, thank you for sending in the emails. Keep them coming. Especially.
The fuel pump is part of the fuel. The fuel filter is part of the fuel pump on the Triumph.
Okay.
He's still got a fuel filter, though.
Yeah, it's true. But you got to replace the whole thing if it breaks.
Also, I have a special request for our listeners now.
Petition the FIM. Oh, sorry.
Love to have some emails sent in specifically to be read on our 500th episode. That's it. If you want to wish us well or give us suggestions or recommendations,
request accents,
things you want to hear, or if you have a burning question about what color Emma's underwear is, whatever.
Pink.
It's always pink. Oh, except for when she wears the leopard print.
That's true.
Yeah.
Pink leopard.
Just confusing. Please send those in now.
Did we announce who our special guest is, or we're not announcing that? I know they announced it. So just Phil from Cleveland Moto will be with us also. So it'd be fun to have him read something.
Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
So
send your emails to motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com. If you want to use the old email address, recyclemotorcyclegarage@gmail.com. I still check that. They both are good. It all gets to me. But yeah, have those come in. I need to pick out just a couple of the best ones. We're not going to be able to read all of them. But the 500th, I came up with a game that we're going to be playing that I'm really excited about at that. I'm excited to see Bagel is coming in.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. I will be in town.
How many days on the scooter does it take to get from there to here?
No.
Oh, I know. I'm driving the van. This is not riding weather coming from Oregon. That's for sure.
Also excited to see Bagel riding my KLR on the group ride.
You got to get pictures of that, please. That's got to go up on the wall.
That. I might see if I could borrow a scooter or something. We'll see.
He just can't do it. He just can't do it.
I would not feel comfortable.
All right, Bagel, you can take the
Honda Elite, right?
You can take the Africa Twin since it has no clutch. Twist
no,
and go.
Just, I don't like riding elephants. I'm sorry.
Can we get him one of those new Peugeot adventure scooters?
Gosh, I want one. Peugeot, if you are listening, can we please get a loaner to test ride? I would like to try it. Yeah. Big thanks to all of our listeners and especially our advertiser, Patreon, but also I was going to say Mimi and Moto for supporting us. And also I have to give a big thanks to Law Tigers because
they're
paying
great.
Paying for some of the cost.
You gotta be careful with that. That's
us saying it, not them.
Yeah, we do that. Law Tigers, they're great.
Oh yeah.
But also I wanted to thank Morgan for coming.
He's great.
Yeah, as an expert, you're welcome.
I'm glad I called you because I didn't know that like Emma wouldn't be here, all these people, and so we had the right person here to have that conversation. And I really am kind of fascinated seeing all these hit the market. Like, who's gonna make a dent? Who's gonna just go belly up? Who's gonna make promises they can't keep?
Oh, so many.
It really
so many
is.
Of them.
It is the Thunderdome of electric motorcycles. I think so. It's kind of fascinating.
If Thunderdome was populated by several big hulking things and then a bunch of children coming and going, I got this.
Look, and I'll go ahead and say I didn't think that the live wire would be as successful as it has been. So it's kind of fascinating to watch this. Even if you're not into electric motorcycles for you, it's fascinating to watch this all happen. So we'll see. Now Morgan's like, yeah.
No. It just it's an odd industry. It's a niche of a niche because what are motorcycles sales in North America? 3%, 5% of all vehicle sales annually?
I don't know.
And EVs are 3% of that. Of EVs are 3% of all auto sales. So you're like 5% of 5%, 3% of 5%. You are at like 0.25% of vehicles are electric motorcycles in North America.
Yes, except that they are paving the path to 2035.
And they're so much fun.
Yeah, they are. And I love them. And people get a smile on their face every time a first-time rider rides an electric bike. They go, wow, I was not expecting to like it this much.
Oh, yeah. I know we're getting out of here, but one other question. You said you were familiar with the CSC...
City Slicker.
They say that they're all sold out, none available.
Maybe they're all popular.
Do you know anyone that has one?
Do not. Because we're in North America and we're a highway culture and no one buys them here.
We are. That's
they sell in Europe and Asia.
Yeah. Road trip.
Let's go.
All right. Big thanks to everyone, for our listeners for sticking here. Mm-hmm. You guys ready to get out of here?
Happy Thanksgiving.
We got to go out.
Petition the FIM.
Frigid cold.
It's oh my God! Is it 50
to 52?
Oh no! Gosh, I'm so glad I drove today.
Try 26. We got
bagel.
last night.
You're not here. Doesn't matter.
True. I have 600 miles to your north.
All right.
56 degrees. Oh God!
Oh no!
Oh.
I better go.
I actually brought a hoodie to put over my mesh jacket in case this happened, and I brought my second set of touring gloves that haven't gone. So I'm going to be okay, guys. I'm going to make it home.
That makes me happy.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. Let's get out of here. This is Liza,
Stumpy John,
Morgan,
Bagel,
and we are out of here.
Cool.